Hi, my name is Maya Kaczmarowska and I chose to do my Hitchcock review on Psycho. The things I liked best about this film was its interesting story, well-written characters, its style, and of course the iconic plot twist. My favorite character was Norman Bates. Norman is a really complex character that has a lot of layers, and I thought that Anthony Perkins really understood the character and played him incredibly well. I think he really embraced the awkwardness of Norman, but also the psychotic unsureness of him as well.
It's not as if she were a maniac, a raving thing. She just goes a little mad sometimes.
I love the little gestures he did to show more uneasiness and awkwardness, and I just overall thought he did incredible and that the whole character of Norman would not be the same without Anthony Perkins.
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
My favorite scene in the movie is when Arbogast is interrogating Norman for the first time.
You see, I'm looking for a missing person. My name's Arbogast. I'm a private investigator.
I feel like it really shows how nervous Norman is about the whole situation of Marion dying, and it really shows how he doesn't really understand too much of the situation, that he's just denying everything Arbogast says and says what he thinks that Arbogast wants to hear without actually listening to any of the questions. For example, when Arbogast asks,
Make any phone calls or
No.
locally?
and Norman replies with, no, Arbogast replies with,
Did you spend the night with her?
No.
Well, then, how would you know that she didn't make any phone calls?
I really love Norman's face after that because I think it's like one of the funniest parts of the film for me. And I think, again, it just shows how nervous he is and how he was caught in a lie, pretty much. That also has to be probably one of my favorite lines in the whole movie, just because of how funny it is to me. The shots are mostly back and forth between Arbogast and Norman, but we also get this really interesting shot of Norman's neck.
Here we are. Marie Samuels. That's an interesting address.
The shot is so interesting and unique because the neck is a very vulnerable part of your body. Psycho also had cool POV shots. We can see this with Marion driving her car, or Arbogast falling down the stairs. We also get a really cool dissolve shot at the end of the film, transitioning from Norman's face to the mother's skeleton.
Why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
Though I think that the film is amazing and incredible for its time, there could be some improvements. For example, when Lola finds the mother's body, the mother just kind of turns around on her own, I think. It was just a bit confusing to me, and I know it's to add drama and horror, and maybe for a split second to think that maybe she really is alive, but it was just more confusing than shocking to me. Though I thought Vertigo and Strangers on a Train were both incredible movies, I like Psycho just a little bit more. I thought that the story was a lot more interesting and that the characters had a lot more depth. Also, Psycho had a more horror thriller aspect to it, and I'm a big horror fan, so I think that's why I enjoyed it more than the other two. Overall, I thought Psycho was an incredible film for its time, budget, and for the restrictions at the time too. I feel like it really paved the way for horror and thriller movies today and inspired countless of directors and writers. So that was my review on Psycho. I hope you enjoyed.